Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a twin flame collective reading. Let's see what is currently going on at the time of watching this video. What is happening for twin flames? Let's see what messages we have here for the twin flame community. What you guys most need to be aware of. Twin flame spirit. Yeah, they're okay. We've got to be really careful. We've got Queen of Cups in the reverse here. This is an emotional imbalance. This is an energy here of being very emotionally unsure, being emotionally, I'm hearing tied down. But what came out with it was strength in the reverse. So there's a kind of feeling of emotional weariness here, where you're feeling bogged down, you're feeling like maybe things aren't improving, things don't feel like, you know, they're going the way you're expecting them to. What I want you to do is you don't stop at this point, but just definitely release the expectations of how you think this is going to go, because again, we've got the Ten of Wands here with the Page of Pentacles. So there's a burden here in terms of where the investment is going, where the time is going, that I feel is the concentration point. But it's like there's a distraction going on here, because we've got the High Priestess that's come up. The High Priestess is the keeper of the secrets. There's more to this. If you're being distracted in a certain way, and you know your reality is not matching what you were expecting to happen, there's a good reason for it. I feel like they're clearing out the gunk. I feel like there's like a clearing out that's taking place, that is needing to be taking place. So if things are not matching what your expectations are, wait, because things are about to shift. There's about to be a shift here. So at the moment you're going to be manifesting things very heavily, and they're just saying watch for you falling into a trap of creating so much fear that the manifestation then blocks. We've got the Eight of Cups here. So this is someone walking away disappointed. This is someone feeling like they're just going to put it down and they can't keep going on. This is someone walking away from a situation. Either walking away from an imbalance of emotions, or you walking away from a situation thinking, I can't do this, I'm going to have to take a break. We've also got here an energy of disappointment here, but you're not in a position where you can kind of pick yourself up from it. We've got disappointment and strength in the reverse. So you're questioning where it's gone wrong, why it's gone wrong, what can be changed. I feel like maybe you're looking and asking the wrong questions. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's have a look. There is a waiting period here before something solid can be offered. Some cycle hasn't yet closed that needs to close first. And so I think that your expectations were things would be resolved by this point in time, and the fact is they're not. You or maybe someone still in the situation will be moving on after they've put a burden down. They're moving on to something here. We've got the Three of Cups and the Page of Cups. Someone can't decide. Someone is not able to decide what they want. And so there is an energy of walking away, whether it's you, whether it's a third party. Someone is walking away. Someone is walking away from a situation here, because I feel like it's reached a bit of a tipping point. Yeah, look. So someone is not independent of their emotions. Someone's emotions are, there's an attachment here, there's a bit of a codependency energy, there's also a strong illusionary energy here that is almost dictating how this is developing. Yeah, so we're in a sort of meditative state here. We're in a meditative period that obviously Spirit are asking you guys to go within during this point in time, because the external is not going to give you your answers. In fact, if anything, it's probably going to confuse you if you focus on the external. Not only that, but there's an imbalance here in the divine feminine. this is creating a disempowerment, okay? Don't, whatever you do, find your, if this is you and you feel like you're resonating with this, look somewhere else for you to find your empowerment, because it's going to create further disempowerment if you focus only on this. Focus on things that you know you're confident in. Focus on things that you know will empower you, because at the moment I feel there may be a rest that is needed here with the Empress in reverse. Take a break, because this is on pause. This is all paused at the moment. All right, Hanged Man. Someone needs to get a change of perspective. It could be you, could be the other person, could be both of you. Hierophant. So this control structure, this order, this traditional energy that has, you know, is almost waiting. Is it creating a block? Is there a concern? Yeah, someone is trying to figure out long term what their plans are. Knight of Cups, Three of Wands. There's no point them moving towards something and then going, actually, I didn't really think this through, let me just go back again. Once they make the decision, that's going to be it. So if they're toing and froing, let them to and fro. You just do your own thing. Let them do that, because they need to decide. They need to stick to this decision as well. If they're not, then there's going to be further heartache. Three of Swords, pain, third party involvements. Step back, step out of it. They're not decided, all right, and it's going to end up affecting you. But that's inevitably what is the energy here. They're trying to fight that ending. They're trying to fight that. We've got the Queen of Swords here. This is someone detaching energetically, closing up their heart space, feeling like they're hurt. So in terms of viewing this in a certain way, Spirit is saying push through, because there's a risk here. If you totally disconnect and detach from this, then you're going to go back to start a new cycle all over again. The key here is to keep your heart open and keep focused and grounded while unconditionally loving. Now that's going to be hard, and that's not to say, you know, stay as a doormat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you need to hold your ground is what you need to do. And if you, I mean, obviously I'm not saying, you know, sort of contact them while they're in a third party or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in this energy you should be focusing on you, and then not investing too heavily into this other situation, because when you disconnect and when you kind of close the door, your heart center is closing as well, and that is creating a message of this is only a conditional love, and that's essentially not the journey. Yeah, look. This is what they're deciding on. We've got the Two of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Someone is undecided about offering something stable because they know they have to cut something else off, okay? So for you to step back and be like, I'm not doing this, I'm going to leave the situation by, all you're doing essentially is saying, I can't cope with you, and so I'm leaving. And you're doing that right at the time when they're deciding what they want. So you're pushing control onto that person. Now I can hear someone screaming at me through the computer monitor going, what do you mean I'm not controlling anything? You are, because you're expecting them to decide when you want the decision to be made. You're expecting this person to know, but then you don't know either, because you're then confused and you're wandering off. So how can you expect them to know if you're confused? If you're the same soul and you're confused, how can you expect them to know? Doesn't make any sense. For you to disconnect and walk off now is going to be the worst, in my opinion, the worst decision you can do, because you're just starting back at square one. Yeah, look, this is fear. So if you're picking up a fear or you're scared, it's because you're picking up on them. The stronger you are with your vision of this, the easier this is going to be. But if you look, don't buy into this energy. Do not buy into this energy, this codependent type of manifestation, this low vibrational. Keep firm with your vision and don't allow doubt to creep in, because that will create a wedge. It will create further blocks, I'm telling you. Yeah, look, Queen of Wands, this is about confident energy. This is, you know, focused, dedicated, a leader, someone that is clear about what they want, someone that is aware. This blocking of energy, sort of restriction, is not what they want, is not what you want. It's creating more complication. Now, once that is recalibrated, this energy can come through a lot easier. Knight of Wands, this is very direct, passionate energy. Six of Pentacles, balance, creating further balance around these situations so that things are not as out of balance. And fast movement, Knight of Swords, developing something quickly, communication, succession of events. I've got a lot of blocked heart chakra energy going on here. We've also got Seven of Swords, so this is definitely, if this is third party situation, step back. No, this is not good. If they're sneaking off and they're doing all kinds of bits and pieces, then you need to do you. Let them come to you. Don't get involved in that. It's not worth it, especially if they're already in an existing commitment. Just that needs to play out. That needs to be played out. Yeah, look, the King of Pentacles, they're in balance. They're not sure. They're very inconsistent with what they're doing. This is someone that's unbalanced in terms of their vision, and because of that and the fact that they've got choices to make, they are not entirely sure of what to do. Now, let's be realistic. Are they coming forward going, yeah, I'd like you, please, and then suddenly going, actually, I've changed my mind? No. The lightness is no, they're not. Now, personally, would I prefer them to not come forward until they've made their mind up? Yes, because then it's not leading you up the garden path. If they came forward now and then changed their mind again, that would be 100 times worse. Honour the fact that they're trying to make a decision, and it's not just going to be a, oh, I just don't know, I'll flip a coin and, you know, we'll see how it goes. This is someone that's trying to make a decision for the longer term, and they're trying to make the right decision. Don't fault them for taking their time to do it, because that's what you want someone to do. That you want someone to take their time in a massive decision, because it means that there's something behind it. There's a validity. There's a, you know, there's meaning behind it. It's a valid type of decision, isn't it? They're trying to find their truth, you know, and sometimes people take longer to find their truth. Page of Swords, keep focused. They're probably keeping an eye on your social media, not gonna lie. They're probably trying to figure out their decision by maybe being a bit stealth. You may get some communication, Eight of Wands, but that's probably after they've figured out, you know, what are the pros, what are the cons, do I want to come forward, how do I feel about the situation, what is in it for me. I've got the Five of Swords here. Why do I feel like there's a risk of argumentative energy coming up? Just watch for that. Try not to, don't get into an argument, please. Just be very careful that you're not getting drawn into a discussion or argument. Three of Pentacles. So this is, again, third party energy. It feels like someone is getting into arguments around a third party situation, even though a situation is not changing. They're still continuing to question and argue about this. Stop arguing about that. Not gonna lie. Why would you need to sit and tell someone not to be in a third party situation? Why would you even need to sit and say those words? Is that not obvious? If that's not obvious, then there's a serious issue behind that person. And they need to figure that out. But don't you be the self-sacrificing scapegoat to draw that to their attention, and then you're made into the bad guy because you're the person that's brought it up. Yes, you need to speak your truth, but I wouldn't even entertain giving someone a response to this, because if they can't figure out that this is the wrong decision, aka, you know, it's one thing to have a third party situation and being confused, but it's another thing if you're dragging people along and egging the situation on, that's a whole different kettle of fish. And if this is what I'm talking about in that instance. So if you've got someone that's kind of entertaining that and looks like they're enjoying it, I wouldn't even be wasting my breath trying to explain the whys, whats and wherefores with that person, because it's clearly an unevolved person. I'm talking here about people who are confused about what they want to do, who are trying to make a decision, who are trying to make the right decision, and Spirit is saying don't go into that with an argument, because why would you go into that with an argument if they're trying to decide, is that not the right thing for them to do? But by you arguing with them, all you're doing is you're saying, I want you to choose me now, which obviously is a very conditional type of situation. It's also a very strongly, you know, I mean, this is a control mechanism, which you need to iron out, because this is not going to work in this kind of a connection. If this is the kind of connection I'm tuning into, just be very careful of trying to control or manipulate the situation here, because this is what needs to be ironed out. We've got the Ten of Swords. That needs to end. The control, the handle of control of things needs to end. Release this. Release it, because it's not going to come to you if you're holding on to it. It's not going to come to you if you're trying to manipulate the situation. And the same with them. It maybe this is not you, maybe it's the vice versa. King of Wands, this person needs to make a decision. This person needs to make a decision. Doesn't have to be male, could be female as well, but someone needs to. And in the meantime, the person who's not making the decision, who is waiting, stop manipulating or trying to manipulate the situation. And if that's not you and it's them, then let them manipulate what they want to manipulate, but you're out of the way. So that's them playing themselves, isn't it? You know, don't buy into this. Like this cycle will continue until you step out of it. The full. Release that expectation, release that pattern of behaviour. If you, let's say for example, you have had your heart set on someone speaking to you or contacting you at a certain time and it didn't happen, so then you take the action, take the steps towards moving this into another gear, or moving things into your own direction, and then when things don't work out for you, you're getting annoyed. What did you expect? Because that's how it's looking like. Now, if this is not your situation, then this is not going to be for you. These are for the people that are trying to manipulate the situation. Don't do it. It's just going to backfire on you. Not worth it. Someone is working on a living situation here. 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. This person could have moved in with someone. This person could be moving with someone. This person could be working towards trying to, again, it's like they're trying to work out what to do. Now, in a major life decision, would you take 3 days to decide? No, I wouldn't. If this is a major life decision that is going to affect the rest of your life, would you be taking as much time as you possibly can to make the decision? Yes. Because especially if you're confused, especially if there's more than one person involved, the energies are clouded, which we all know at the moment the energy is insane. Put it this way, you got to question this. If this is your situation, if you're sat there going, well, I already know 1000% exactly my course of action, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing between now and the next 2 years, I've got everything lined up, all my ducks are in a row, I know exactly where I'm going, and I've got zero confusion, then congratulations, because you are possibly the 1% of the population right now. However, if you're watching this and you have 1% of doubt, 3% of doubt, 5% of doubt, up to 95% of doubt, that doubt is going to be a reflection of your person's doubt, and so you're mirroring each other. So the more focused you get, the easier your person is going to find working this solution out. If you're sat here questioning this, they're going to be questioning it. If you're sat here focused going, I already know what I know, then they're going to have the same energy. So don't, if you get confused, start trying to go, well, I know I'm going to manipulate the situation in this way because that will bring them back around to me. No, the easiest way of doing it is to keep focused and keep the faith. Because then what will happen is eventually that person's going to pick up on that energy and it will clear the space. It will clear the path. Yeah, look. King of Swords in the reverse. Ace of Cups in the reverse. Someone that doesn't know how to make a decision. Someone who is emotionally incapable of figuring out what it is their needs are, how they feel. This is someone really confused. Now, if you're sat here going, well, I'm not confused, I know I really want them, then great, keep going. But if you sat here over the last couple of days, one day where you'll be like, oh, I know exactly what this is about now, and then the next day you're like, oh, I'm scared, this is never going to happen, and then the next day you're like, oh, I know exactly what this is going to happen. That inconsistency is also going to be reflected back to them. You're mirroring each other. Keep firm, then they're going to keep firm, and then they'll make a decision. But if you keep changing the goalposts, then they're going to be reflecting that back, and then they're going to be unsure, and then they're not going to make a decision, which is why this inconsistency. And if you're sat there going, yeah, but I keep seeing social media, and they're, we'll get off social media, stop looking. Personally, if that was me, I would keep watching, because for me it's a trigger, and therefore I need to release this trigger and this attached emotion, which means it no longer can affect me. Now, is that an extreme way of dealing with the situation? Yes, but we're not playing here, so you know what I mean? Like, if you are that serious about it, personally walk into that, because if it triggers you, great, we can release it, we can understand it and release it. Because the chances are, if it triggers you, there's going to be something that's there you're triggering them about as well. So if you release that, it's going to have an impact on their decision as well. This is their energy, 2 of Wands. But do I stay or do I go? They're looking at one wand and looking to the distance, and then in the left hand they've got a wand that they're still holding and they can't decide. Make your own decision. Keep focused. If you are indecisive, they are also going to be indecisive. Someone's mentally entrapped. If you have got any confusion in your mind at the moment, this is also what they're picking up on. If you've sat in the last, say, week where you've gone, oh, especially with this full moon in Scorpio, back forward, back forward, back forward, this is having a knock-on effect. And I'm not going to sit and lie. We've got a stalemate. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Stalemate situation. Stalemate situation. Keep focused. Do not doubt. Now, obviously, this is for the people here who you are 1000% have zero shadow of a doubt. You already know. I could sit and argue the point that that's not your twin flame, but you already know it is. In your heart and your soul, you know it is. This is for you guys. For the ones that you're thinking, oh, I don't know, I don't really know if this is my twin flame, this is not for you, okay? Just FYI. Page of Wands, the World. Page of Wands, the World. This is something about the idea of something passionate, a new beginning that never really gets going, and a passionate idea, a passionate start that wants to get off the ground, that kind of never really develops past a certain point. This is fear. This is fear. There is an element here where there's an inconsistent energy of what happens if I get into this with them and then they change their mind again? Will I be left out in the cold? They've changed their mind once about me. They've moved away from me once. What happens if this happens again? Does that mean that I'm out their life? Works both ways. Now, this is 10 of Pentacles. This is a long-term, solid, stable commitment. This is family. This is legacy. They're questioning, well, what happens if I set up here and I've made this decision and this is my long term? Are they going to walk away from this? Are they going to walk away from me? 1 minute their energy is very, very stable. The next minute they're not sure about me. What happens if I reconcile with them and then it all goes wrong? What happens if I take this little leap of faith? They're inconsistent about me at the moment. What happens if I take this leap of faith and then suddenly it all goes wrong? What happens if I, publicly kind of make that stand and say, look, this is my person, and then suddenly it all goes wrong? What happens if I suddenly say, yeah, this is the choice I've made, and then suddenly they decide they can't handle it? This energy is so inconsistent. How do I know that's not going to happen when we're together? Now, there's also another added element, which is karma, justice. There is a karmic cycle that they're currently in the middle of, and that you possibly are also in the middle of. So in amongst this fear, usually in a previous karmic pattern, people would go, oh, I'm schooled. No, this doesn't feel great to me. Let me just step out of this because it's fear. It's a bit not nice energy. Let me move away. If you've been doing that forever, you need to move towards it, because break the cycle. There's a cycle here that is looking to be broken, and at the moment you're in the middle of it and not picking up what needs to be picked up from where I'm looking. Clarity, awareness, Ace of Swords, understanding the full aspect of this, understanding the 360-degree angle of what is, understanding exactly how to proceed forward. Whether or not you understand what is being shown in front of your eyes doesn't matter. You know in your heart what is important. That's when you consistently have that faith, is when the Wheel of Fortune turns. Because you're saying, yeah, I have faith in the universe, this is going to be delivered to me. The doubt hasn't crept in, the fear hasn't crept in, you've changed it, you've changed the cycle. Keep going, keep going. You're not rejected and they're not rejecting you. Four of Cups. This is someone that is, this is an energy of moving away from rejecting of that pattern, of that instinctive element of kind of moving forward. And not only that, but if there's any other sort of third parties around, we've got 5 of Wands here in Judgment. This is self-sabotage and making a decision. This is moving away from competition. This is understanding what is at stake and finally making a decision based on all of this, because you've consistently shown your energy to be a certain way. The wheel has turned, and so their energy has consistently remained at a certain level, and that's when they're clear. Because the truth can come through then, can't it? If you're consistently in a, in a clear space, truth can come through. It's clarity, isn't it then? If you're undecided and you're not sure, how can they be sure? Chariot. Full steam ahead. Once this clarification comes through, full steam ahead. And the Emperor steps through. The Emperor manifests into the high vibrational being, balances all 4 suits of the King or Queen, can be Empress or Emperor, take the sex, interchangeable, mix and match as appropriate, male and male, female, female, however you want to say it, whatever situation fits you. But this is about a manifestation of an energy here. If you are consistently confused, is that going to manifest the same energy you want? No, it's going to create more of that confusion. This is healing energy. This is abundance. This is manifestation. Consistent manifestation energy. This is wish fulfilled. This is a reunion. But the first kind of portal call is to keep the energy. Doesn't matter if someone sits there and say, if you know 100% in your heart, you're sat there going, oh, I know this is my twin flame. This is for you. If you are not sure and you've had several million different spirit guides telling you this is not for you, then listen to that. All right. These are for the people who categorically feel like their left arm is missing at some stage, and at some point have been back and forward being confused because of the energy. This is for you. Keep focused. What is for you will always be for you. Keep focused. And I'm not talking charging ahead and start manipulating the situation and bait posts on social media. I'm not talking about that. Just keep doing you. No game. Stop game. No games. Like, seriously, no games. Once that is over, this is yours. 10 of Cups. This is your twin flame reading. Hopefully that's been of some assistance. Thank you for all your likes, shares and subscriptions. It means a lot to me. Until next time, take care.